Hey guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Curb Stomp. This is the Death Knight Tank Blood Spec guide. This is a fast guide. We're going to cover everything very fast and not waste your time. Hope you appreciate that. Leave me a like and a comment. Literally comment anything you want. It helps the algorithm. With the Death Knight tank, there is no set priority on your casting. There's no rotation. But I always start off with this Icy Touch. It creates a huge amount of threat. Think of this as your taunt, really. Then you use the Plague Strike, and when you have both of these active, it amplifies your Death Strike. If I click this Pestilence, I have the Glyph set to where it just refreshes those continually. So when both of those are on and you use this Death Strike, you're going to heal yourself a little bit. You've also got the Heart Strike for if there's targets next to each other. You can do damage to multiple targets. And the reason that there isn't a set rotation is because you need to use whatever is appropriate for in that moment. Say the thing that you're tanking, it jumps onto your guy in the back here. Your hunter's taking really, really bad damage. Well, you have the option of Death Grip or Dark Command. Some things are immune to Dark Command. So Death Grip may be the option. This target dummy is apparently immune to Death Grip. So I keep the things that I use sort of in order backwards on this action bar. And then I use my fingers to just hit the other things as I need to. Once you build up your runic power, use Runic Strike as it's available. You got to keep an eye on your Horn of the Winter for those long fights. I've got the glyph that makes it 3 minutes instead of 2. Some people will want to put that just in the rotation there. I like to also open up if it's multiple targets with Death and Decay. That's basically what my rotation, quote-unquote rotation, looks like. When things get hairy, you can always pull out your Raise the Dead. You can call forth your Army of the Dead. Keep in mind that when you do this, your target here, it's no longer going to focus you. It's going to focus each individual little ghoul. So taunting at this point it's not going to do anything. Use this as a time to rebuild the cooldown off of your taunts. Hysteria right here is something if you've got a really great hunter or warrior or rogue, you can give that to them. It's going to increase their damage. You can do it to yourself, but keep in mind you're going to take 20% extra physical damage. Let's see, no, it's 1% of the maximum health every second is what you're going to lose. It increases that person's damage by 20%. This is your biggest defensive cooldown when things are looking bad and your health's low and you're not getting the heals you need. Click that, you instantly take 30 less damage. I keep all of my bailout buttons right here so I can go down the line. A lot of these trinkets, when they're activated, are going to give you extra things, like this one is dodge. This one increases my maximum health. So if I'm in a bad situation, I can just go down the line, click all of these. And this is sort of a last minute bailout right there. It's a 5-minute cooldown, but I instantly put everything on refresh. So that's the rotation for you. Use this talent build if you want to generate high aggro. Use this talent build to get a little bit more avoidance. And use this talent build to get a little more AoE damage. The enchanting is pretty straightforward. You're looking for stamina. The enchanting list is a little big, so it's in the description. Take a look at that. Stat priority for Death Knight is number 1, defense until you're defense capped, which is 540. Then hit. You need 17% hit chance for Dark Command to never miss. Then stamina. Your heals from your abilities that you receive when you're healing yourself with those abilities is based off of stamina. So the more stamina you have, the more you're healing yourself. That's why stamina is such an important stat. After that, look at armor. Expertise is going to be a consideration when you have best in slot gear and you're doing in-level raids. For your gems, you need to stack defense gems if you're not defense capped. If you are defense capped, then you want to stack those blue solid majestic zircon. It's 30 stamina. Don't pay any attention to try to matching up the colored sockets. with the exception of one red gem that will be required. You're going to use the purple Defender's Dreadstone. The purple ones will match the red, and that's plus 10 parry and plus 15 stamina. Your meta gem is the plus 30 stamina and 2% armor value, and that's why you have to have that red gem to activate it. For your consumables, look at the Rhinolicious Worm Steak. It gives you 40 expertise and 40 stamina with well fed. You have the Indestructible Potion that you can use, and that's 3,500 armor for 2 minutes. And don't forget the Scroll of Stamina and Scroll of Protection if you don't have a Druid or Priest, which could be the case in a 5-man or a 10-man. And the 25-man, you're more than likely going to have one of those. So those Scrolls of Stamina and Protection, they don't stack with the buffs you get from a Druid or a Priest. Use the Flask of Stoneblood for your flask. So look at this vendor in Dalaran, and as you collect these Emblems of Triumph, you're going to have some options to buy different pieces of gear. Just for example, here you've got an option for these relics. You could get the, I can't even pronounce that, Sigil of Virulence or something. But you're supposed to use this one for a tank, and it should be obvious to you why, because this one is offering you a chance to gain 200 dodge rating for 20 seconds. If you look at some of the rings on here, you should know right away this is a spellcaster ring, this is for melee, this is plate melee, and right here's the ring that you want. If you don't have a ring better than this already, this is the Clutch of Fortification. And it should be obvious to you why you want this. Look at all that stamina. It has 114. It includes defense and dodge rating. This particular vendor has these individual pieces, these individual items. But there's another vendor where you can buy gear with your EOTs. He's all the way on the other side. And what he sells are the sets. And you get a set bonus.
What can I help you with?
So, look at this one for example. This is the head tank plate item. It's 50 EOTs. When you have 2 pieces of that set, you get the bonus there that's highlighted. Set decreases the cooldown of your Dark Command ability for 2 seconds and increases the damage done by your Blood Strike and your Heart Strike abilities. If you manage to get 4 of these pieces, that means the head, chest, shoulders, you get that bonus of decreases your cooldown on your Unbreakable Armor, which is your #1 defensive cooldown, because it reduces your damage by 30%. So when you're looking at these sets, you'll see one that has critical strike rating and armor penetration. That's going to be like your unholy DPS. You're going to see one that's haste and critical strike. That'll be like your blood DPS. So your concern is to look at the ones that offer this defense and dodge and hit, and they have the big stamina numbers. That'll be what you want. Eventually, once you get to the EOF, very expensive items here. If you want to, you can get the 60 as soon as it's available for you. I like to get the chest piece right away. Look at how good those stats are. With these Emblem of Frost gear sets, it might not be worth it to add just the one. Depending on what your gear is going to be, you might go ahead and buy this and hold on to it. And then when you get that second piece, look at how good that bonus is for having 2. Increases the damage done by your death and decay ability by 20%. That's huge. That's it, and that's all. That concludes the guide. Thank you for watching. Please like, please leave anything you want in the comments. It helps the video get more views. Appreciate it. Thanks.